Luke 13:18 through 19 reads, "He said, therefore, what is the kingdom of God like? And to what should I compare it? It is like a mustard seed that someone took and sowed in the garden. It grew and became a tree, and the birds of the air made nests in its branches." This is one of those passages that I can't remember not knowing. It's such an illustrative passage. We can easily picture the wee mustard seed and the large tree and those birds that felt safe in its limbs. So even as a small child, I could understand what Jesus was talking about. When I consider this passage now as an adult, I can't help but think of a pipe organ. Shocking, right? I mean, look at this big beauty. She's grand, magnificent, and powerful, isn't she? Many people are surprised, though, to learn that it's not a bunch of large and dramatic movements that make the tremendous sounds we hear from this musical instrument. Rather, it's a series of quite tiny motions, most of which are only a few millimeters in size. Between the key that I press and the pipes that we hear are a series of well-balanced, simple mechanisms. Pieces of wood, leather, and carbon fiber are carefully designed to work together to take the small act of pushing keys and turn them into a musical masterpiece. The mustard seed and pipe organ are illustrations of what the kingdom of God is like. The building blocks of our faith aren't necessarily flashy, adventurous, or even risky. Sometimes they are those things, but sometimes they aren't. Rather, it can be the quieter things that form the foundation of our faith. And it's often the unembellished basic acts that create the stepping stones of a greater effect on the world. Bringing canned goods to a food pantry, keeping your eyes peeled for someone who needs an extra dose of kindness, hauling up your neighbor's garbage and recycling cans from the street to their driveway. Average acts of goodness bloom, every time, into trees that will feed the world. They may be small, but they're still empowering. And there's another part of this message that mustn't be overlooked. Jesus said it's like a mustard seed that someone took and sowed in the garden. The small acts that grow into greater good don't typically happen by accident. They happen with intention, just like the gardener who lovingly sows that teensy seed into nourished soil. This means that we ought to be deliberate about the good we seek to do. The organ builder doesn't just throw buckets of leather and metal into a wooden frame and hope for the best. Rather, she makes a plan for what's going to make the best music. Ask yourself these questions and then actively find some mustard seed-sized ways to do good. What is the need today? How can I serve today? Who can I be helpful to today?